Right, 21 August 2024. And today I've got one of the most difficult episodes for me to do because, as I was saying earlier this year, there's going to be a lot that is going to happen. And with the failure to launch the Blue Movement, there is obviously a lot that we're going to find out. And specifically, there are things happening behind the scenes in the opposition that are going to change everything that we know about the politicians around us. I have uploaded on Gambakwe Media, gambakwe.com, a tweet by Brighton Muka. So if you want to see the detail of this tweet, you can go over. This is the most detailed information that we've received so far about what is happening in the opposition. Specifically, there is details about transactions that have taken place. And these were alleged by Hopo Chingono and Ibo Mandaza. So Ibo Mandaza and Hopo Chingono has made certain allegations about what could have happened to make Nelson Chamisa step back from the CCC. However, that is not my interest. The biggest interest I have is what Brighton Muka has said here, and he's a very prominent lawyer based in the United Kingdom. What he has said is that there is certain information that has been leaked of a private nature regarding Nelson Chamisa, which he does not want to talk about. So that is where I want to focus, because what is going to happen is within the next few days, you are going to see that information being leaked. And this is deliberate. There's going to be a deliberate leak of information on Nelson Chamisa, and we don't know what is in that information. So that is the biggest concern. Many people can say a lot of things, but we actually don't know what is in that information that Brighton Muka said he's not going to release. So if you go to gambakwe.com, I have put the full tweet by Brighton Muka, and in it, he says there is certain information that Hwende has leaked to Hopo Chingono and to Ibo Mandaza. And that information is so private and embarrassing that he does not want to repeat it. So you can go to gambakwe.com and you see the full tweet. I've put it there because many of you have not seen it. I see that only about 40,000 people have seen that tweet. Whereas if Nelson Chamisa was to tweet something, it would normally have between 200 and 250,000 people who see it on a daily basis. So if Nelson Chamisa was to put a tweet out, then it will go out like immediately. I want to just share with you the page on Gambakwe right now so that you see what I'm talking about. And let's not take what is happening here lightly. This is going to be one of the biggest things that you have ever seen. If these guys are doing what I think they're doing. So what I think is happening is Hopo Chingono is fed up with Nelson Chamisa's supporters. So he's obviously going to hit back. And if Hopo Chingono doesn't hit back, he's going to lose credibility. So I know what he's going to do. He's going to let this information come out. So if you look at this page on gambakwe.com, if you go to B, it says the sources further stated that Hwende C did not only level accusations of financial impropriety against Chamisa. I will not address the other allegation that was made of a personal nature and extremely hurtful. So this is where my concern is. I am not concerned about the financial issues. I'm seriously concerned about what is going to come out, which is not of a financial nature. And while I'm speaking, there is something amazing that is happening right now. So I'm not going to take a lot of the time. I want you to check out what is happening in the United States of America right now. So after this, you can go and check out President Barack Obama. He's speaking right now at the Democratic National Convention. I've been watching this for the past few days. So if you are done here, you can always go and watch President Barack Obama speaking. The First Lady, former First Lady Michelle Obama just finished speaking, and it's been amazing. These guys are running one of the best conventions that I've ever seen. But anyway, that was a distraction. I just saw that it was on now, and I've been waiting for a very long for President Obama to come online. But what I was saying is Nelson Chamisa is at a critical point right now. The future of Nelson Chamisa is at a critical point. Whatever information is going to come out of a personal nature, which they are threatening him with, this information is going to make a big difference on how Nelson Chamisa proceeds going forward. I've been telling people for the past few months that there's something that has made Nelson Chamisa pull back, and it's clear that this thing is of a personal nature, and let's wait to see what they release, because they are threatening to release certain personal information. So let's see what that personal information is. And I've been saying it for a very, very long time that this is not normal, what has happened. There is something else behind the scenes, and this something is what is being threatened here. And Brighton Muka has spoken to a lot of people. He says he's spoken to 5 people who know he has got the information. The information is in the hands of Opo Chingono, and it's in the hands of a lot of other people, but not so many. He says only 5 people know this information. I've tried to get hold of Ali Naka myself through my contacts, and let's see if he says anything. I will personally let you know if I get that information. At the moment, I don't have anything. So I'll tell you the nature of the information, but I will not be the one to publish it, because I do not know what it is that they're alleging of a personal nature. So this is where this thing has gotten. It's no longer about money. It's about some personal information or something personal that has happened with Nelson Chamisa. So this is going to be a week to watch. So let's watch what happens. But something big is happening behind the scenes, and it's not about money. It's about some personal information. Now let's go to news very quickly. Today's events, Mnangagwa is going to be presiding over the funeral of Elasto Madzingira. So there's going to be a national heroes burial today, and this is going to be something to watch. Let's see what Mnangagwa says. Mnangagwa tends to go to an event on a daily basis. He does not do any work. All he does is to move around and attend events. No wonder why nothing is working. However, General Chiwenga is currently in India. General Chiwenga has gone to look for partnerships in the mining sector. And I want to quickly play for you the video of General Chiwenga speaking.
My country is endowed with over 60 internationally tradable minerals, which include diamonds, lithium, platinum group of metals, gold, coal, and rare earth elements. The recent discovery of oil and gas is a potential game changer for Zimbabwe's economic growth, as it will have impact on energy security and the development of several downstream industries, among others. Zimbabwe has one of the largest lithium reserves in Africa, if not number 1 on the African continent, and 7 in the world. Zimbabwe, therefore, invites you to invest in mining value chain, which encompasses the provision of prospecting and exploration, mining and value addition, finance and technical services for partnerships with local mining firms.
Yeah, so myself, my view on this is that General Chiwenga should not be focusing on India. I was watching the Indians, business people, talking to General Chiwenga. and they are more focused on education. I don't think the Indians have got cash to invest in a business that takes a long time. So the biggest problem we have with money that is coming to Zimbabwe is that people just want to come for a short time. So I don't think General Chiwenga should be focusing on the Indians. I don't think they've got money. I don't think they want to do anything long term in Zimbabwe. I think they want to come and get quick cash. So they were asking him about education. They kept asking him about starting universities in Zimbabwe. That is quick cash. They want to come in and within a year they've got the money and they go. What General Chiwenga should be doing right now is to go to China and talk to the railway companies. So companies like China Railway Group, because that is where the future is, connecting Zimbabwe and making Zimbabwe to move around. Zimbabwe is so small. Zimbabwe is the smallest country of all the countries that is around our region. That is why Zimbabwe does so well. Everything's close to each other. So what General Chiwenga should be doing right now is to try to go to China, get those high-speed trains and work on that. Zimbabwe already has a large connection around, so moving from every big town, there's a railway connection already. All we need is a system and also the actual carriage wagons, the fast carriage wagons. What they've done in Tanzania, as I was showing you, is the standard gauge railway, where you have the same train, fast train moving on the standard rail. And this is where the focus should be. Fix the connection between the countries, between the cities in Zimbabwe, so that tourists, when they come to Zimbabwe, they can move around and see everything and money can flow. And I do not think this focus on India is going to pay off. I don't think India is an investor. I think they are more of, they go for quick, hot money. So I don't think that is going to work. So I hope to see the focus changing to tourism. So I've been talking about this for a very long time, and we're going to continue talking about the 50-year strategy. A 50-year strategy has got nothing to do with me. It's got nothing to do with the politician. It's got nothing to do with the Chiwenga. It's got nothing to do with Mnangagwa. It's how we change our country within the next 50 years. So anyone and everyone is going to agree if we go on a high level or high time frames. And I think this is something that I'm very passionate about. There's no one in the whole country who is as passionate as me on creating a sustainable Zimbabwe, which will give us money as a whole country. We are tired of this situation in our country where there is no money. It's unbelievable how broke Zimbabweans are right now. And we need to fix the situation. It's affecting all and everyone in the country. Now, let me go to a trending story from the Newsday newspaper. This story is very painful. This man I'm displaying here is Mernard Livingstone Muzariri. He was responsible for the Gukurahundi. He was one of the top CIOs during Gukurahundi, who used to round out people in Bulawayo and around areas. And he passed away in 2011, if I'm not mistaken. He has left a massive wealth, which is causing fights in his family. And this includes a house in Borrowdale worth 700,000, a residential stand worth $2 million US, and also a farm. So he's got massive wealth that is still not distributed, and his family is still fighting over the wealth 13 years after his death. So this man is probably one of the richest CIOs ever in Zimbabwe. He's got, imagine, as I said, the golden triangle of the Rolf Valley, one of the most expensive and exclusive areas in Harare. If you go right now online, you can see that their house is selling for 40 million rands, like this house that I'm showing you here. He's got a house there, and his wife and children are fighting. So 6 children and his wife are fighting over this estate. And so this has been developing for a very, very long time. Mernard Livingstone Muzariri is still making an impact 13 years after his death, and was a top CIO during the Gukurahundi era. Well known for making people come around in the villages and sing songs in Shona. That's what they say online. That is crazy. So that is the man who is the newspaper. You can go and see the details over there. Then in entertainment, Zimbabwean musician Tocky Vibes is being looked for by South African police after he escaped. This is in the H Metro newspaper. Tocky Vibes escaped the police who were waiting to arrest him. So I don't know what kind of police these are, because what happened is Tocky Vibes was performing on the stage, and this guy on the left, Royce Mpaike, came with the police to arrest Tocky Vibes, because Tocky Vibes had taken 30,000 rands and said he was going to perform. But then he didn't perform the shows. He ran away and started performing his own shows. So Royce brought police to arrest Tocky Vibes, and they allowed him to finish his song that he was performing. Unfortunately for the police, as he was performing, he also managed to shuffle out of the venue in Kempton Park and ran away. So the police in South Africa are looking for Tocky Vibes, who ran away from police. They went to the lodge where he was staying and they couldn't find him. So you can go and check out that story in the H Metro newspaper. And as I said, former First Lady Michelle Obama just finished speaking at the National Democratic Convention, and the second man, the gentleman of the United States, is Doug Emhoff, the husband of the candidate, the main candidate in the States, and President Obama is still speaking. So after this, you can always go and check President Obama speaking. Let me see if there's other news that I need to show you here. So the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission has issued a notice. There's going to be a by-election in Umzingwane on the 5th of October. So if you've got a political party, you should be able to go over there and contest. And then in South Africa, Chima Chima, the police are looking for a mother. So Chima China's real mother has been talking to the police over the phone. And this week they went to look for her, wanting to see her in person and probably arrest her, but they couldn't find her at the place where she was supposed to be. And so they've said that they are going to, the lawyers have have been talking to the police, but they can't find the mother of Chima Chima. The Home Affairs of South Africa is thinking of taking away the citizenship of the mother, and automatically Chima Chima is going to lose the citizenship, or most likely to lose the citizenship, because she got a citizenship because of her mother. Or what I see happening is they are likely going to give her a new identity. That normally happens, where they have to give her a new identity or a new ID, which is not linked to this whole situation. So let's see what happens over there. And then at Mugod Church, there was a court case and a ruling this week against Washington Mugodi. So Washington Mugodi lost a case and he has gone to the Supreme Court. He has appealed at the Supreme Court. You can see that this court case was filed 2 days ago, because the Mugodi Church is having a leadership fight. There's a fight on who is the leader, and the court had ruled that the other people were the true leaders of the church. And now we have a court case that has been brought by Washington Mugodi, who is saying that he is actually the true leader of the Mugodi Church. So you can check out this court ruling. It's this court case on case number SC49924. It's going to be ongoing, and it's a massive court case. We're going to see drama in this church. So this is amazing. And I want to just see if any of the newspapers is published, and if there's something that I've missed. Let's see. Herald Zimbabwe has not published. Chronicle Zimbabwe has not published. So those are the two newspapers that we have in Zimbabwe. The newspaper obviously has published. I've showed you the story in the newspaper, and H Metro has not published. So I'll give you these stories from these newspapers tomorrow. So now let's recap. I have put on Gambakwe.com the full tweet by Brighton Muka, which sets out the full story on how Nelson Chamisa is connected to Hwende in terms of the allegations being made by Hopo Chungono and Ibo Mandaza. I've put out the full tweet, which shows you it's about 3 pages of what has happened and why it's happening. However, I'm not concerned about the monetary issue. I'm concerned that there is something private which Brighton Muka says he can't say, which is going to be leaked within a short space of time. So you can go and check out that tweet on Gambakwe.com. This is going to be one of the biggest stories this whole year. So this is Brighton Muka at the center there. On the left is Charlton Hwende. On the right is Nelson Chamisa. And Brighton Muka is alleging that Hwende is the one who leaked the information. And he leaked that information for a specific reason, a political reason, not any other reason. So Brighton Muka is one of the prominent lawyers based in the UK. And my belief is that Nelson Chamisa might not be able to come back into politics the way that we think. So I believe that a transitional system is going to come into place. I've been talking about the third force for a very long time. I believe that Nelson Chamisa has been taken out, and Mnangagwa is also going to be taken out. And we're going to end up with something in the middle, something that is more of a transitional 10-year process. I don't see this thing ending quickly. There is no one right now who is strong enough, except in ZANU-PF. In ZANU-PF, General Chiwenga is very strong. So I always tell people that General Chiwenga is the man to watch right now. If private information is leaked on Nelson Chamisa, that leaves General Chiwenga in ZANU-PF as the strongest person politically in the whole of Zimbabwe. There will be no one else as strong as General Chiwenga left after this leak happens. So you have to watch General Chiwenga very, very closely and how he's going to maneuver into office, how he's going to manage to come out on top in ZANU-PF. This is critical. You have to understand this in the context of succession. You have to understand this in the context of the third force, and also whether a transitional system will be possible if General Chiwenga is so strong that he manages to take over. The ZANU-PF has got structures. So myself, I prefer a transitional system, and people in ZANU-PF might prefer to take over altogether. So they just take over altogether. And let's see what is this information that is being released about Nelson Chamisa, which people are so afraid to talk about. What is that information? And if I was Chamisa, I was going to come out and address this whole thing so that people can understand ahead of time what it is that these guys are threatening. Every day they're making a threat. What is it that they've got that they want to release, or which they say they're going to release? So critical stuff happening this week. And anyway, Hopo Chungono is a journalist. He must be producing information, not hiding it. If he's got something, Hopo Chungono must produce it so that we can see what it is. Mukoma only is saying, Gambakwe, read my comments above. Chamisa did not kill anyone. Yes, Chamisa did not kill anyone. I believe that. Let's go to your comment, Mukoma. Gambakwe, why do you smile when talking about Chiwenga, but when talking about Chamisa, you express your seriousness? Yeah, Chiwenga fan. Mdara Chiwenga, I've never seen him in my whole life. Guys, I don't have anything against anyone except Mnangagwa. You know why I've got my beef with Mnangagwa? Let me tell you my beef with Mnangagwa. Mnangagwa has arrested people and thrown them in jail. I do not believe that that is the direction. I believe that Mnangagwa is doing the wrong thing in terms of arresting people. I've done a full 30 minutes demonstration against Mnangagwa last week. And I have gone all over the world. I've gone to Botswana, I've gone to Zambia. Right now, I've written to the president of Tanzania. I've written to Mnangagwa himself over this issue. There is no reason why people should be in jail in this day and age. And I also disagree with Mnangagwa's policies. Mnangagwa has got short-term planning. He's got no long-term vision, and his vision is very small. That is my belief on Mnangagwa, and I believe that Mnangagwa must step down after rigging the elections. General Chiwenga, I believe that he's going to end up president if he does the right thing. But there are things that he needs to do. So let's go to Mkoma T1. The issue of railway is underway. No, the issue of railway is not underway in Mkoma T1. The railway that I'm talking about is not the railway that they're doing. So Zimbabwe has approached the China Railway Group, and they want to fix the railways currently in Zimbabwe through the NRZ. That's not what I'm talking about. First, I'm talking about new cities, what are called planned cities, what Tanzania is doing right now. Those are planned cities. You build a city from scratch with all the amenities, with no one in it, for 1 million people. And one day you open the city and people just walk in and there's everything in that city. That's not what they're doing. What they're doing is to refurbish what is existing. So my proposal is that we must have a planned city at Victoria Falls where people who are coming from the diaspora and tourists can come and go and live, and to make Victoria Falls the center of our country. And that means Victoria Falls must become one of the most developed areas in Zimbabwe. You need to spend maybe $5 billion or $10 billion just on that. Then you put a railway line, a high-speed rail, which is going to take you from Harare to that new planned city around Victoria Falls in less than 3 or 4 hours. Then, for the military, what you need to do, you need to create a planned city for the military. And I've said this around the Zambezi, around Binga, you put a complete planned city for the military, where the military will set up what we call engineering corps, whose job is to deal with infrastructure. And you establish new units like the Navy of Zimbabwe, so that you don't have this current military structure that you have. And also you give the military guys better conditions of service, which is at least 2 houses for each guy in the military. Do you know what that means when you have 2 houses for each guy in the military? That means you've got 80,000 housing units in the military city. I can give you details on how that would work. And rail is critical. You want to be able to move fast. And that's not the rail that I'm talking about, Mkoma T1. That's rail, the existing rail. That's not it. You can build on it, but that's not it. Then let's look at metro rail. You need to have a metro rail, Chitungwiza to Harare, Harare to Norton, and then you have this leg that comes from Harare to the areas on the Borrowdale and Austigate, that side, to Parliament. So that if someone is in Zimbabwe without a car, you can jump in 5 minutes, you're here, 10 minutes, you're in Chitungwiza, 3 minutes, you're in Norton, 5 minutes, you're in Mtare, those kind of things. Right now, there's someone who is in Norton who has never been to Ruwa. Many people in Zimbabwe are in that situation. And that's why money doesn't move. Our money is not moving because there's poor connection. In Bulawayo, you should be in Bulawayo in 2 hours. So if you're coming from Harare to Bulawayo, it should take you 2 hours. You jump in the train at 6 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you're already to home in Bulawayo. Imagine Gweru, that would be an hour's trip. So these are the kind of things that I'm talking about. Right. Mgoma Amos says, what personal issue can stop him? Did he kill someone? I don't think so. So let's wait. Let's not speculate. Chamisa is there. I've told you that something's happening and you're seeing it now. Something has happened and everyone has got that information. And I hope they've got that information. Amandas has got that information. I tried to call Ibo yesterday. His phone is not on WhatsApp. And he works here in South Africa. So I don't know how to get hold of Ibo. So if someone knows how I can get hold of Ibo, Mandaza, then let me know. So that we ask him, Kuti, what is it that you've got that you are threatening to release that you have not released? So we want that information to be released, or they must not threaten if they don't have it. Right. Mkoma 6 says, Gambakwe, will I be lying when I say the spirit mediums of Zimbabwe doesn't want opposition parties which are fronting the West? There's no one fronting the West. Chamisa is the most local politician that we've ever seen. And then Mkoma Jonathan says, tractors are working 24/7 for the downfall of Nelson Chamisa. Yes. But all I'm saying is here, guys, expect something different. Expect something big to come out. And don't be shocked. So I'm preparing you for this situation that is going to come. There's something that is going to happen, and the people know about it. And when this thing comes out, it's going to change our political dynamic in Zimbabwe. And it's going to make other people lose faith in also Chamisa. That is what these guys want to do. And Brighton Muka on Gambakwe.com, if you go now, he has said he's given so much detail. And I am surprised why that tweet, it's funny enough, I only saw that yesterday. Because most people, like Ana Hopo, I'm not able to see Hopo's tweet. So my guys just tell me when there's something good. Hopo is tweeted or my hair is tweeted. So sometimes I miss these important tweets that I put out. But this tweet by Brighton Muka, which is on Gambakwe.com, is the most detailed tweet ever about this whole situation. And it makes allegations against Hwende, allegations against Dubeko, allegations against Ibo Mandaza and Hopo Chungono, and a lot of other people. And some of the rumors, you've heard them. There's a guy called Alinaka. Alinaka, I tried to contact him yesterday, and we're still waiting to hear what it is that they're talking about. But all I can tell you is that be prepared for something of a personal nature, not a financial transaction. So this is not about money. This is about something else. And we are waiting to see why they're dragging us for so long before we know what it is that they want to accuse Nelson Chamisa of. So I think this is well done. We've completed everything that I wanted to say. And funny enough, President Obama is still talking. So I'll let you go and see President Obama speaking. This is amazing. I love President Obama and all the stuff that he does. So you can go to the Wall Street Journal. Currently, President Obama is speaking over there. You'll be able to see him talking, and he's in support of Kamala Harris, who is the presidential candidate of the Democrats. These guys are amazing. The convention has been going on for days. I think 2 days or 3 days, if I'm not mistaken. And they bring in different people. This party is structured, and they are going to pull out a massive surprise here. I've got a feeling that they're going to surprise us all. What we're thinking earlier this year, that Trump will just jump in and win, we might be surprised altogether because President Obama is like a big gun over there. And former First Lady, she's also Michelle Obama. She just finished talking, and like everyone was standing and shouting and screaming. So thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Please go and watch this speech by President Obama, and then we'll see you in the evening when we deal with the 50-year strategy. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching.